Hey everybody, multidimensional guide Alicia here, tapping into the energy themes for July. So I decided to wing this in nature, and so they came through, but I didn't have pen and paper to write them down, so I'm just going to allow myself to remember what needs to come through and trust it. So there are a few themes that came up. One specifically for July is this idea of focus. Focusing on what your goals are from a place of exploration and inquiry and expansion. So what do I mean by that? Say you have a goal of finding a house or wanting to be in a relationship, or you have goals in your health, right? All these things are something you want to put energy to move towards. As you do so, there's a certain idea of what you think you are moving towards. But as you allow yourself to invite in the universe to expand yourself beyond the vision that you have in your mind, it becomes a heart-centered co-creative experience. So for example, if your health, right? If you want to get that in check and you end up going to a nutritionist, and that nutritionist opens up a whole nother world of maybe weight training for muscular development, and in that you decide that hey, I really like to try acro yoga, it kind of allowing the path to really unfold for you different aspects, right? So that's just one example that you're like, okay, I want to get more tone. And then as that, see what comes up. Are there certain ads of circus things? And you're like, oh, that's cool. I would love to try that. I've never tried that before. So allow yourself to explore. Take a class. And maybe you take a class and you're like, oh, actually, no, I really would like to do more juggling than that. But just allowing the different steps to evolve into something outside of what your original plan was. And just have fun in exploring what that adventure could look like for you. Another theme that is coming up, and this is a little bit of a follow-up from last month. There could be a lot of chaos in your life right now. The chaos is asking for you to embody something or to take a different approach than what you normally have. What do I mean by that? Say around you there's a lot of people stepping all over you, or in your work environment there's a lot of gossip that is really kind of shaking everything up. And in that, you might have either kept quiet in the past or got involved in the gossip, when in fact that's actually not who you really are and what you really want to express in that moment. If there's something going on at work, say somebody is reporting an issue that you have experienced yourself. And in the past, you would either kept quiet or you really fed the drama of what's going on. And July is really asking for you to actually contemplate, what is that bringing up for you? Is this an opportunity for you actually to have healing and speak up for yourself to the right people, to the people who can do something about it, to management, to HR? Is this an opportunity for you to create peace for yourself and not get involved in a triangular situation among coworkers that you know is not where your energy and your peace lies right now. Is there an emotion that situation is bringing up for you to actually be triggered and move through and clear so you can have healing from a past situation that this is reflecting back to you? So allowing yourself to really reflect on what's going on around you and what it's invoking and asking of you inside, action or non-action, right? Another theme for July. This is a continued theme also from other months, but described in a different kind of way. You know the movie Pleasantville, where everything is in black and white and everyone is smiling and, you know, almost like Step for White kind of experience. Like, oh, everything's great, everything's perfect here, yay! But really it's not, because it's built on a structure of keeping false narratives, of believing, turning the eye to abusive situations that are actually happening. And this kind of correlates with the last one that I shared. But what is coming to light right now is that this is going to happen on a massive level. You know, that the sunshiny kind of Kool-Aid drinking organizations, structures that don't have stable grounds under them, there's going to be another kind of collapse or shake-up around that. And if you're involved in those situations, going back to the second theme, really kind of inquire what this is asking of you. Have you been a people pleaser in the past? And these are all actually trauma responses. Fawning is a trauma response. Freezing is a trauma response. And a lot of times if you're in a frozen mode, it goes beyond that. You've been in fight and flight so long that your system kind of shuts down in burnout, and you can't fight. You can't be for yourself, for a situation, and you just kind of are non-responsive. Or you even go to the point where you are praising the abuser because in your mind you don't know how else to get your needs met. So having that understanding, having that conscious awareness of that those are actually reactions, just like fighting is, just as running is. How can you inquire how you're showing up in certain situations? And get the support that you need to be cared for, to speak up. Do you need an advocate? Do you need a lawyer? Do you need a therapist? You know, July, the independence, right? But what's that really going to look like for you? And are there other people that are in that situation that, with your awareness of these responses, they can be like, hey, You know, I understand what you're going through. I've been through that too. You know, your experience is valid, and how you're reacting is actually a response to trauma. The more you isolate yourself in these situations, that's when fear has you really deep. And individuals can have you play against each other so that they can keep their dynamics at play. But this idea of love, right? Love, unconditional love. You know, I used to, as an empath, I didn't have myself in that equation. Right? And when you put yourself in the equation of unconditional love, and you understand you deserve as much love and compassion as everybody else, then you start to show up in a different way. Then you start to inquire about your actions and other people's actions. And there's sometimes that it's not even going to be worth speaking up, that just walking away is where your peace is. And by letting go of something new can come and take that place. And another theme, talking about things taking the place. Look at the opportunities that are arising. Look at whether it's jobs that are coming up, or people having conversations around you talking about something that you can contribute to. Ads that are coming up asking for what you have, assistance, what you can provide, right? Opportunities are going to be showing up in multiple different areas. But as an individual, will you take the action to step into those roles, to take those opportunities? And trust that, some situations aren't always going to pan out in your favor, but by putting energy into... Thank you. The cardinal's agreeing. I love that. By putting energy into these opportunities that are fulfilling for you, puts a momentum out there to the universe that hey, I would like to try this. Oh, I want to try this. Oh, I love that. Right? And it's trusting in all of, right? As things break down, that the new opportunities will come through. As you let go of one thing, new opportunities will come through. And they're showing me right now a volcano. I don't know the names of the volcanoes, but something in Hawaii. that the energies of the volcano are going to be very fluid this month. In an energetic way, not necessarily physical, though that could be, but in a very energetic space. And allowing your, oh man, I can feel it. Wow. So like volcanoes are very much ground energy, earth energy, and fire. And then when the air hits it, it like hardens it. And it becomes ground. And then it's almost like a whole birthing cycle. Oh, wow. Very powerful. And so at this month, or even after this, just allowing yourself to tap into that energy for you. Taking a moment, meditating. If there's a specific volcano that calls to you, allow yourself to be engulfed in that energy. Oh, now they're bringing the water element in, like even under, right under the earth. The volcanoes, they also grow out into the water, and that's how land gets expanded and grows. And also very much, there's something about the home this month. Like the structure of what the bones of the house, the energetic frequencies of where you live, whether it's a house, whether, the land, the ancestry of the land is going to be speaking very much to you. Some of you, they've been trying to get your attention through like light flickers and through different things that you kind of that you just kind of bypass and like, no, that's not it. But there are messages and beings that want to be very much acknowledged right now. Because there are messages that want to come through. There are energetic gridlocks, vortexes, energy portals that are really being rewired right now within the grid of the Mother Earth too, and the ley lines. There's a lot that is shifting. And there are some of us who are embodied in the conscious understanding of and how to do that in a very grounded way. And then there are other of us where it's actually not grounded in our consciousness yet, but it's in our soul frequency that it naturally happens. Oh. And so notice where the rainbows are. Notice where they appear. And allow that energy to be present within the home. And you can invite it in. You can picture it coming into your home. There are different ways that you can welcome this frequency in. Get prisms for your home. You and your kids can draw some awesome rainbows to put on the refrigerator to hang up around the home. There are different ways that you can invite this frequency in and to have fun and play around with that. there's going to be news coming up too around certain health issues, and they're just saying that the solution is actually simpler than the fear of the problem. And to the simplicity of minerals and the simplicity of vitamins, amino acids and minerals, like the simplicity of those things is what's going to be the solution. And that the fear around it is an energetic body that you can choose to engage in, or you can choose to witness and then allow for a solution. So it's just to be aware of how that may show up this month, and honoring and asking how yourself can be part of the solution, being aware of the problem, being aware of what is there, being aware of the fear bodies that is generated in so many minds around it, but understanding and being very grounded that it's actually more simple than the waves of worry are embarking on, are invoking. So just see and observe where you are in that. Yeah, so I'm keeping these down to 20 minutes because that's what Spirit has guided me to do, or around 20 minutes. We're at 22. But yeah, so for this month of July, really own where you're putting your energy. Really, it's almost like they're showing me like the volcano. Expand in the roots and the groundedness of yourself underwater. Expand, let the fire meet the water, and allow yourself to expand in the depths of a becoming of you that is in your unique self, in your sovereignty, in your being, in your truth, and how that is going to be expanding and changing, how the truth of your experience can be transformative, and then the truth of who you are on the other end of it is an expansive being, because you allowed yourself to move through the explosion, the chaos, or what seems as chaos, the nitty-gritty of it, and allowing to ground a pure part of your being. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm stopping there. Sending out